Yo, JD here, and today you can see we are back on F1 22 as always. And in this video, I decided to test something that a lot of people have been talking about, which is the AI. A lot of people have said that the 110 AI are very powerful. They have incredibly OP starts. My only experience I've had so far is against the 100 AI in, I think it's one of my latest videos where I was in the McLaren and everyone was on equal cars. And I didn't really find them too bad at all. But a lot of people are saying that they've had to lower their AI difficulty and it's still pretty challenging. So you can see here, we're going to put it all the way down to 0% AI. And whenever I've done this in the past, I've pretty much thought that this setting was redundant, and unless you were driving with a blindfold, then you probably wouldn't be using it. Even if someone who was completely brand new to the game, I would feel they wouldn't find the AI this particularly challenging, as long as they could keep it on the track, of course. But what we're going to do here is we're going to do two separate tests. So we're going to basically just let every single car lap us and see what the difference is and see how much progress we can actually make. So we're just going to sit and chill out here, and don't worry, we are going to speed it up now, just otherwise we're waiting a long time. And I was just keeping an eye on what the first lap would be from the AI, because in the past when I've done 0%, it's pretty much like I was driving in the dry and they were driving in the wet. It was quite a considerable difference, sometimes up to like 30 seconds or 20 plus seconds per lap. It was a massive difference. So as they're coming around now, we're going to let every single car go. So Hamilton does a 1:45, which is not actually too bad for a first lap. It's only around 12 seconds difference from what a good first lap is for myself. So we're going to let this car go, and as soon as he passes us, that's where we get on the move. And our tyres are not quite minus 200 degrees, but they're not that far away. They're pretty cold at this stage, because it's 61 degrees, the lowest on the front left. And coming through here, I have a little spat of the oversteer, so needing to heat up the tyres just that little bit as well. And yeah, we're going to be showing you completely uncut, so no editing or anything at all. We're just going to show you exactly what happens. And I feel I'm quite a good test to do around here, because this is my Silverstone TT set that I'm running, and I did get the world record. Probably has been beaten by now with the amount of sweat going on, but we will reclaim that later on in a trying the world record series, which I've always done. But yeah, I feel like my pace and setup is fairly good around here, so should be a pretty good benchmark to compare against. So just try and navigate this AI as fairly as we can. I know a lot of people, when I see their career modes, they just dive bomb 10 cars in turn one. Kind of feels a little bit unnatural to me, so we're going to try and do it as nice and cleanly as possible without abusing the game too much. So coming through into here, we're not going to dive bomb Sonoda as well. We're just going to let him have this corner, go for a nice little switchback, which we do, and we're into, well, still obviously P20 because we haven't unlapped ourselves yet. And coming through here, really slow the AI through this one and go down the inside of Bottas. Now we are coming up to the top 5 cars, so coming up to my teammate Carlos Sainz, and we go down the inside here. No, we decided to think better of it, because we probably would have been squeezed by the AI there. And you can see they're quite fast on the straight as well, despite being 0%. And obviously in the corners we're going to make quite a lot of time. But so far the impressions are that they're not actually that bad. If I'm comparing it to playing on previous games, I think the first time I did it was on 2016-17, and yeah, they were just horribly slow. But this at the moment, we have finally actually got past every car again, so it's taken us a little while to do that. It's taken us more than a lap to actually do it. Whereas in the past, I think it would only take me maybe a sector to do it itself. So far, the impressions are that they're actually not too bad. And no, for me, whenever I thought about the AI levels, I've always thought that 100% should be very difficult, 110% should be pretty much almost inhumane. Maybe a Yana Watmir percentage that only he could do, or aliens could do. But then I thought 0% shouldn't be where literally you just keep it on the track. I still think there should be some element of challenge where someone who's brand new, so someone who's just using the wheel for the first time, they would actually be putting up a good fight. Whereas in the past, I felt like they were just not a challenge at all, where you're just not going to get any benefit from running the 0% AI whatsoever. And I always feel like a percentage level of the AI should always be some benefit to a certain level and experience of player itself. So at the moment, it actually looks quite promising. And on lap 3 here, they are on lap 4, and you can see we've still got 1 minute and 13 seconds to actually catch up to 73 seconds, you could say, to Gotifi. And yeah, in the past, this would have been an absolute breeze. I think people in the past even pitted every lap and still beat the AI or changed to all different tyre compounds and stuff like that. So the fact that we're still quite far away, if you look at the minimap, like they're in sector 2, I'm not even in sector 1 of lap 4 at the moment. So I would actually say even before we've completed these laps, it's actually quite impressive, this 0%. And obviously this is not going to be a perfect 5 laps where if we were doing like an esports event and everything like that, but you know, as long as I can't really gain a second a lap, so really 5 seconds, then I'd say this would be a fairly good comparison or a test to do in itself. And yeah, the AI, they're going to be starting the last lap now, so there's absolutely no hope that we're going to be lapping every single car, because Verstappen, you see, he's still not even that far behind whatsoever. I think our fastest lap has been a 28.5, so we haven't really been using the ERA stat effectively. We haven't gone for an all-out lap. I think usually a really good all-out lap for me would be like a 28.0 or a very high 27, something like that would be a pretty good one. So coming through into here, all the cars are on their last lap now, and you can see we're still around half a lap behind almost as well, so 53 seconds. So let's see what it is as we cross the line and see how much time we actually do gain. But to make up 51 seconds right now, and you know, they've got less than a lap left, I think you can already see it's not going to be possible to do it at all. And we have done it on the realistic setting, so the Ferrari apparently is meant to be the fastest realistic car, so people are saying, which should make it even easier to actually lap this AI. If it was on equal car settings, then the lap time should actually be a bit closer. So as we start our last lap now, and I think the gap was like 46 seconds, 46 seconds. I've actually forgot to just look then, but we'll see how much time we make up now. So it's 43 here, it's coming out of turn 4, and Verstappen is actually going to cross the line pretty shortly, and we only just completed the first sector, so he's won the race. And yeah, we could definitely drive probably a bit faster, but not that much faster. That's a lot of time to make up. So in the past, it was an absolute doddle to be lapping all the cars on 0%. So yeah, I'm actually quite impressed with this so far. And yeah, I don't think we've really driven that badly. So it made up quite a bit of time. So we're not making up 20 seconds a lap, because at this point I think it was around 51 seconds. And yeah, it's yeah, I don't think I could be driving 30 plus seconds faster, as the AI have all finished now as well. As you can see, we're almost a sector behind we were in terms of actually lapping them. And going across the line now, let's see what the gap was to Latifi in the end. And yeah, you can see by my face, it's it was actually pretty difficult. So Verstappen did a 42.3 as his fastest lap, and we did a 28. So yeah, I felt 14 seconds or less, and Latifi did a 46 as the slowest one. So yeah, that's like 18 seconds or something like that, and yeah, definitely actually quite impressive. So yeah, 30 seconds to find. I don't think we could be doing that every single lap. Definitely not for sure. Like 6 seconds a lap or something. There's definitely no way we could be gaining that much time. So this time I decided to actually just give it everything and see what we could do, because according to that, it looks like it's actually going to be quite tough to lap even anyone potentially, like, at all. So coming into here, we try and make as good start as we can, and yeah, we're just going to try and push as hard as we can for these next 5 laps. And yeah, once again, this is probably not going to be an absolute perfect 5 laps like it was an esports event, but I feel, since we did get the world record around here temporarily probably, and we like this track, we've got a good setup on board at least, we should be in a good position to really accurately determine if it really is possible or not at this stage of the game itself. So let's see what the gap is. So the gap is only 5 seconds, and we're going through Maggots and Beckett's, so we'll see what it is at the end of lap 1. And yeah, there actually seems to be a lot of people have confirmed this already to me, but a lot of people said that the lower the difficulty, it's definitely much harder than it was in previous games. So once again, please let me know what your thoughts are, what your experience really is with this as well, and especially players who are quite newly experienced or only just played F1 21 for the first time last year. How much have you had to actually change your AI level on this game? That's something that's going to be quite interesting, because for me, I went against 100 AI around here and I felt pretty confident, and that was without a setup as well. I felt pretty confident that I could beat the 110, and especially with a setup as well. I thought wouldn't be too difficult whatsoever. So I might have to go back on that. Maybe that extra 10% is a huge difference, but yeah, the 100 didn't feel necessarily that bad. And you can see, I think we only gained 10 plus seconds or 12 seconds on that first lap. So again, just confirming the difference really in the lap time between Verstappen and myself is around 12 seconds. So we'll check in next lap to see what it is, and you can see they've all just about finished the first sector, and I'm still in the second sector as well. So I don't think you'd be able to be in a position where you could pit every single lap and win. I think that's kind of definitely been taken out now, and maybe Codemasters have seen how easy this 0% AI was in the past, where, like I said, I felt like they were just so easy that no one would ever be using it unless they were doing it for a video like this to maybe even make fun of them or do some crazy challenge, not to actually legitimately improve themselves at the game. So the gap was about 23 seconds as we crossed the line, and we did a 28.0 there, so quite a bit quicker than we did in the first one. And yeah, usually like a 27.7 or maybe 8 would be a pretty good one for me if we're pushing quite hard around here. So I've done quite a few 5-lappers around here now, and yeah, going through this first sector, so we're not really going to be using the ERS that much in this lap, and the gap is about 26 seconds at this stage, so kind of gaining about almost 4 seconds per sector on Verstappen. That kind of seems to be what the average is, and you can see we're driving quite well at this stage as well. I think could probably add maybe a couple of seconds over the course, or 2 or 3 seconds maybe on the perfect runs over these 5 laps, but yeah, I don't think it's really too bad of an attempt at all. And the gap is now gone over half a minute, and the guy in last place, which is probably Latifi, is just going through the first sector now, and we've only got 2 laps left, so let's see if we can actually catch that train. I think, again, I'm quite confident to say it's probably going to be very hard to lap everyone in this field. And yeah, the time is about 34 seconds between Verstappen and myself. So yeah, I think it's quite easy to say that there's no way you can really lap this AI completely around this track. But let's see how close we can actually get to the back of the pack. But you can see again, there's still quite a lot of time and quite a big gap to find as well. So we're just going to save our ERS a little bit just for this last lap. And yeah, again, please just let me know what your thoughts are of this AI difficulty, how much you've had to actually change it yourself, and how impressed you think you are with it. And because I will be potentially trying on my team next week to see how I feel about it and if I enjoy it, because then I will most likely be running with the 110 AI. And yeah, just to let people know that set videos will be returning tomorrow, so I will be doing them every weekday. And also my one-to-one coaching. So if you want a 90-minute one-to-one coaching session with myself to improve your skill level on these games on any platform, then go to www.coachlimitless.com. I've actually opened up slots from the 18th of July onwards, so if you would like that, then now is your opportunity to do so. As we now start our final lap, so the gap is about 47 seconds between Verstappen and I, and yeah, it's kind of confirmed again. It's just gone to 48, so it's pretty much almost bang on 12 seconds difference between us. And yeah, you can see he's going through downward hanging straight, and there's absolutely no way. I don't think. Let's not rule out Jarno Opmeer, but I think even him right now going to realistic against 0% AI here. Yeah, it's. I think it's pretty much confirmed that you can't do that, and you can see this gap to the back of the pack here. We've got almost like a sector, to almost actually find. And yeah, I don't know, maybe it could be possible if you get like a perfect start and holding each other up. And no, maybe from track to track, it's going to be vastly different. But yeah, that is a lot of time to find, and we're running a SERP, and we are supposedly in the fastest realistic car as well. Yes, he just crosses the line, so it could be possible. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but yeah, around here, I'm very, very surprised with that, and actually how good they are. And you can see we are pretty blown away by that. So again, let me know what your thoughts are, what your experiences are from track to track, what AI level we've had to change. Thank you so much for the support on the channel. Hot Laps and Stats will be returning tomorrow throughout the week itself. I really hope you enjoyed the Grand Prix this weekend, and I'll be catching you very, very soon. Peace.